Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. Hey, I didn't say greetings loud enough to scare the kitty. I still have a fuzzy snake up here. Well, how is everybody doing today? And today we're going to be talking about the fight with Amazon. It's Amazon screwing over its indie authors. And that's kind of what we're going to be addressing today. And I've been following this for a little bit, of course, because of the issues that I've been having, and I am not alone. And so I finally had enough of it and filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office, and I'm going to file one with the FTC as well. And let's see if some government agency can enlighten some transparency in with Amazon, because I'm getting sick of it. But we are unfortunately at the throes of a crazy monopoly and a corporatocracy, and so we'll see what other options present themselves. So that's what we'll be talking about today. But before that, let's go ahead and jump on over and see who is here. Yu-Gi-Oh! How's it going there, Ricky? How are you? Adonis, how's it going there? Long time since I got involved in a live stream. Well, welcome back. Yeah, I know. This Saturday morning one is mostly for the people wanting to catch an early one. I was experimenting with a little bit about doing another earlier live stream during the day, but it just doesn't work well with my schedule. So, but this one works. Hello, Quint Berkeley. Hello, y'all. Let me switch to live chat now that I see Quint's on. All right. Let's see who else is here. Cookie, pizza, cookie. We need to get pizza and cookie together, man. We'd have like you know, our main course and our desserts. Not happy right now. Can't find Pale Moon browser anywhere. I think though. Yep, a couple guys found it. Thanks, guys. Cookie and Quint, thanks for providing those. And let's see, pizza. How's it going there, pizza? Okay. Okay, it's not an installer. Do you, no, there's not an easy installer for some of these. If you though, cookie, I did a, or is it right? I don't know. Whoever's asking for it. I did the video about installing WaterFox system-wide. That will work for Pale Moon. So it's just extract the file under Pale Moon, create the desktop icon, and add it to the system if you want to. Let's see. Don't use Pale Moon. Use twice in my life. Yeah. All right. That looks like we got to the bottom of the comments. We only have a couple people. Really? Only 14 people? And more people will show up. Should we wait a few minutes? I'll go ahead and wait a few minutes. More folks will show up. I'm going to look for that video. Kitty, you trying to bust into those kitty treats? Kitty's over here trying to bust into the kitty treats. He's just like, dude, I kind of want into those kitty treats. I want the kitty treats, yo. I want the kitty treats. Right, Kitty? Trying to bust into those? All right. Okay, quite hilariously, my Don't OD on smart devices has not yet been demonetized, but the patron live stream was. Is there a time to give up data? That one was demonetized. Go figure. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to type this in for WaterFox. No, not there. Back up. Not that far. YouTube's being stupid today. Hello, K-Wile. How's it going there? Okay, let me do WaterFox there. That's where I need to do WaterFox. All right, copy link, and the video I'm putting in here is how to install WaterFox system-wide. That will work for Pale Moon as well. We're up to 18 people. We'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to record this separately so that I can have a good re-edit of this one. So we're going to go ahead there. Oop. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today we're going to be talking about Amazon and indie authors and some of the issues that have been going on and what my thoughts and advice are as a small publisher. Of course, I am an indie publisher. I personally have 2 books for sale, which are for sale a lot of other places. I do use Ingram, which is your biggest worldwide international book distributor. So all my books are available pretty much everywhere because of that. But the problem is Amazon has created this little monopoly in their own little world that I could go through Ingram and publish to Amazon, but I end up getting a very, very small cut of the royalties if I do. And so what most indie authors will do is create an account on Amazon, what used to be on CreateSpace, to publish your books there for distribution through the Amazon channels. And with that done, then you actually get higher royalties because it's basically being printed and distributed by Amazon. But there have been some problems and some issues. So, of course, CreateSpace was bought by Amazon. And then, of course, they slowly got their tentacles all around it. And this last month, they just, like the Kraken taking down the Black Pearl, right? I mean, just, they killed CreateSpace. They forced all authors to push all of their books over onto Amazon. So now everyone is forced to use Amazon KDP and publish directly to Amazon. And what I've been hearing is that the quality is worse. I am going to have a friend who is not associated with me place a copy for my book as well, and I want to test a couple things. Number one, what is the print quality of my books? Because I want my books to be of high print quality. Now this one is, I think this one's done by Ingram. So this is the professional company that does all books. Well, I should say most books. The ones I've had through CreateSpace have been fine, but I've been seeing a lot of information about books being printed really poorly since this push to KDP. And so, number one, I want to see what is the print quality of the book. Is it still the right book? Am I promoting a book that I expect to be out in public? The second thing, though, and that we're talking about primarily here, is the fact that for a lot of us indie authors, our sales are not being reported properly. So I'll cut to the chase for the indie authors that are following this. What do? I am telling you, gather your evidence and file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission and your state attorney general's office. Only when these guys are aware of the problems and enough things get reported to them. If all of us indie authors and the indie author associations can start putting pressure on the government agencies to look into this, only then are we going to get transparency. But that being said, let's go ahead and dive on in and have a quick look at the problem. So first is we're going to look at the terms for Amazon. And of course, I've read these through a while ago. There are separate prices for the digital and for the print. This is your basic user agreement. There's not a lot special. What I was looking for specifically is written notice about when sales are reported. And what I'm actually finding is that when you talk to them, they will tell you, even in some emails, they will tell you that as soon as a print book is shipped, it should appear in your sales dashboard. What us creators are asking for is we are saying, hey, we want to see it show up in the dashboard as soon as the sale is made. Because you can do it for the ebooks. Why can't you do it for the print books and just have another item or another color? Our sales dashboards have colors. I can't let this computer screen over here go to sleep. I have my sales numbers over here. We could have, ordered and then change color when they're shipped. That's okay. But the fact is, I have at least 2 confirmed orders of my book, Testing and Temptations, that I've not received any sales for. If you have purchased a copy of this book on an Amazon property, let me know. I have exactly 1 sale reported for this book, which is very funny because my other books are a lot more successful. Now, maybe it's because this is the first book that I did, which is through expanded distribution through Ingram instead. So I have it for sale on Ingram, and then that's running separately through Amazon. The other possibility is it is a book that has its own ISBN number rather than using their crappy ISBN numbers. There's a lot of factors that make the 2 books separate. I am getting accurate sales reporting for the 1 book. This month I've sold several copies of the book. Mostly print copies, a few ebook copies. But the fact is I'm not seeing the sales. So I was looking for that in the terms. And of course, this is just basically just some basic things. Here's royalties and payments. Now, what is interesting here is, unless otherwise specified on the other 2 terms, Royalties are due on book sales approximately 60 days following the end of the calendar month on which the sales were made. Just kind of funny because I have confirmed sales from December 1st that are still not showing up in my sales dashboard. How am I going to get paid for those? Now, 60 days out, that's not a big deal. That's standard. That's what Ingram does. That's what everyone in the industry does. Now, some people are a little upset about this because CreateSpace was 30 days. And so I'm not going to fault them for going from 30 days to 60 days. That's the industry. That's okay. Some people might be a little tizzy because forcing people to go from CreateSpace, which everyone was happy with and worked well, to KDP, now we are forced to go from 30 days to 60 days. So it's kind of a change, but it's in alignment with the rest of the industry. What's not in alignment with the rest of the industry is the fact that we're not getting sales reported. And that's kind of the issue. And so I want to look at the print pricing. So here are your royalties. Royalty applies to print books customers buy in any territory. 60% for standard, 40% for expanded distribution. How does that relate? Well, in Ingram, if I want my books to be carried by a Barnes & Noble or any other big bookstore, there's a few things I need to do. I need to have my own ISBN number. I need to have my own barcode, which lists the price. That's a mistake I made on this one because Barnes & Noble changed their policy. So they will never carry this. You can order this at Barnes & Noble. You can walk in your physical store, order a copy of this, they'll bring it in. They simply won't stock it because when I printed it, I did not use an ISBN, or I didn't use a barcode with my price on it, which is what Barnes & Noble now requires for stocking. All right, now, on Ingram, where you distribute to all these bookstores, you can set your price. So if I'm setting a price and all I plan on doing is driving sales directly, I don't really plan on anybody selling it, then I make my royalty higher. So I can go 60%. I can go 65%. I forget, I think there's a cap. And then I'll make more money per sale. But if you want to list a book for sale, if you would like a bookstore to carry your book, you generally need to set your price at 45%. So you're going to make 45%. The distributor is going to make 55% of the cost of the book after printing. So what Amazon does is when you sell directly through Amazon, you get 60%, which is actually higher than the standard. So that's why people, your indie authors, create an Amazon account on the one hand to sell to the Amazon properties and the Ingram account on the other hand to sell to the rest of the world, because it makes it easier to basically those two places get your book absolutely everywhere, but you're not getting messed up on commissions one way or the other. Because if I go from Amazon and push it to Ingram, I'm going to lose a lot. I actually lose a lot. And so it's not really worth doing that. Now, the calculations, of course, it's your fee times your royalty rate. So like your list price times the royalty rate minus the printing costs for a book, which is, hold on, I have a report over here. So my printing fees on Ingram, my printing fees are about $2. Let's see. I'm just doing math in my head real quick. About $2.75, and that's about what it is on CreateSpace as well. They're fairly standard. I think CreateSpace is a few cents cheaper. So basically, the list price of this book is $12.95. So you take $12.95, you subtract that, and then you split the commission. So I'll get on Amazon, if you buy it from Amazon, I'm supposed to get a little bit more money than if I sell the book anywhere else in the world. That's the way it's supposed to work. The problem is it doesn't appear sales are getting properly reported. And so you can see that some of the things that you do see is royalties will be paid due on paperback sales once a month, approximately 60 days following the calendar month when the sales were made through Amazon's distribution channels, or 90 if you're doing expanded distribution, which I do not do. Actually, I think this book here is on expanded distribution because I just wasn't sure if this was going to be a big book. I probably might redo this and just fix a couple things because this ended up being my best-selling book, which is hilarious to me. Probably it's a best-selling because I'm borrowing all the keywords. If you search for the original book at parodies, my book's number 2. It's probably a keyword thing. But that is through expanded distribution, so I don't make as much over there. But maybe I should pull it off expanded distribution and distribute that through the other platforms as well. That would probably work. But after 60 days, I should get that. Now, the problem is, hey, I'm already over 45 or 50 days in from a sale, and I still don't have things reported in the dashboard. That's kind of what the issue is. There's other pricing terms, price matching, whatever, things like that. All right, so with that, they did come out and say, hey, there is a delay in print royalties. Now, this actually just came out on the 4th with an update on the 10th. What's today? 12th, I think? So today's the 12th, so they're still working on the issue, but in the meantime, all affected authors have been contacted. I have not been contacted, and I have verified sales that were not reported. So if you have purchased a copy of Testing and Temptations through an Amazon property, please let me know. That will be invaluable information if the Attorney General's office looks into this and calls me, if I have actual data to give them. Like I said, I'm going to have a friend place an order for me, and I want to see, A, does it show up in my sales dashboard? B, what is the quality of the book? So they did say we're still working on the issue. All have been contacted. Like I said, I have not been contacted, but their original report said there was an issue delaying the reporting of some paperback royalties in 2018 for a small subset of authors. We're in the process of correcting it. It will notify any impacted authors early next week. By the way, once again, for clarity, I have never been contacted, and I have 2 confirmed sales that are not in my dashboard. And I'll get to that in a bit. Now, is this just me? Well, no, because there's an entire thing. Now, this is the oldest one. This goes back to June. And this is kind of like WordPress going to Gutenberg, okay? Yeah, I'm going to keep beating that drum. All right, so all the beta testers, like, I mean, a few guys really thought that their farts smelled good and that the Gutenberg was a good thing for WordPress, all right? But the beta development community overwhelmingly did not like it. It was so apparently clear. We had a Kickstarter, or not a Kickstarter, a petition to say, hey, don't do it. Before the petition even got launched, Matt Mullenberg in charge of products like, just to be clear, we don't care. Don't care what we're doing. We're doing this. And so everybody who left negative reviews to say, don't do this, it's unnecessary, gets fed with moderated feedback. Tell us what you didn't like about it so we can fix it. Guys, just dump it. The same thing's happening here. They were getting ready back in June to force everybody onto KDP, but as far back in June, people were not getting sales reported. Hello, for some reason my sales are nearly half of what they have been over the past few years, yet the books are still in the top 10 and are staying there consistently. I'm wondering if KDP is reporting numbers correctly. Is anyone else experiencing a dramatic drop in sales in KDP this month, yet showing strong in the rankings? Any input would be appreciated. This guy says, new to KDP, 7-year-old son published book yesterday, lots of excitement. I'm only seeing 3 Kindle downloads sold, whereas 5 or 6 people have bought it for sure. Also, I downloaded using Kindle Unlimited, flipped through the whole book, but it shows only 4 pages of viewing. Something isn't adding up, Zachary says. I have a book on weight loss on Amazon. Last year when CreateSpace held the account, I sold 321 hard copy books between December 9th and January 8th. KDP reporting for this year is just showing 12. In the same time period, my ebook has remained constant. There is obviously a problem. Any suggestions? Let's see. Hit the community link at the top of the screen, right hand, whatever. I have had issues since August. Hopefully everyone else gets straightened out. I sold them. I get them messing with my author profile, jacking up my search results on their sites, and having a weak third party sending bots to my sites. They can try and mess with my SEO, but they can't. I've had enough of a legal case and per the Attorney General, but now with the shutdown, the FTC hasn't looked into it yet. Obviously. Sometimes there's a lag in reporting KU read pages, so that should go up. I've had issues since August. Hopefully everyone else gets straightened out. Let's see. Regarding the inaccuracy of KDP sales reports, you probably should think twice about saying Amazon is cheating you, especially when they're saying it on the Amazon product page. I don't think so at all. Hey, whatever. This guy's like, yeah, I could care less. I'm not scared of them. Yep. So this is, of course, my comment, and I basically added this comment to the bottom of each of these pages. Hey, let's do so. Hey, somebody replied to me. Thank you, Thomas. It's refreshing to see someone else taking action instead of telling me to think twice. My complaint was filed with FTC a few weeks ago, but the shutdown is ongoing. My state attorney general's office My state AG responded to get a lawyer. No one will take the case. It's not about the sales numbers for me. Yeah, that's the thing, is we need enough of us. We need enough of us standing up. And when enough of us stand up and the FTC gets wind and the Attorney General's office gets wind, a Comcast event happens. And then enough people go, maybe they are screwing us over. But now this is the thing, in the next couple of weeks, or maybe the next couple months, after I get the next two projects, the next two book projects published, which should be by June by the latest, I will be establishing my public front for my publishing company, and I'll be joining the small publishers, and I think that that's where we need to take this. We need to take this to the activist organizations and say, hey, in Amazon, if Amazon's watching this, all we're asking for is transparency. I am going to detail that there is a problem, and we need you guys to actually admit the problem, make the mistakes, because I would rather keep my stuff on Amazon for the Amazon sales and my stuff on Ingram for the rest. If this gets too crazy, I'm just pulling out and going straight to Ingram, and I'll take the commission hit on the royalties. All right, so this guy, this is starting the newer ones, September. Sold a book last week. I don't worry about it not showing up on my sales report because I read it doesn't show up until after it is shipped. However, at this point, it has arrived in the mail and still no sales on the paperbacks in the reports. What is happening? Is there is there a delay of several days? This guy believes his sales reports were off. Haven't received an email. Was anyone else contacted today? So this is in response, just as January 9th, this is in response to that message going out saying, Amazon saying, hey, we're pushing this data out. Well, apparently they're not. This guy received the email, but I'm not holding my breath for honest accountability. So this person contacted a BuzzFeed reporter. I mean, come on. If Amazon told you that you can't publish a book because you're trans, contact BuzzFeed. Other than that, BuzzFeed's worthless. I mean, come on. But anyway, let's see. I've not received any email from them yet. I've already posted on another thread. This is something I was questioning in my own sales report as well. And although I can't respond to create space to KDP transfer since that was my situation, I'll simply offer another possibility for sales not showing up. KDP did respond to my inquiry, although insanely slow about not seeing report during high volume sales. Okay, so let me clarify without reading verbatim what the comment is. So during higher volume months like November, December, when a lot more people are ordering books, they will outsource some of the print books out to a third party, and then those come back to Amazon. And those in theory could have a slight delay. Now, the reason I am taking action now is because I spent 6 weeks trying to contact them. I have a good a good dozen messages going back and forth. I spent over an hour. I had to call like 7 times yesterday. And I finally, like a couple weeks ago, I got somebody on the phone that said exactly this. Hey, she said this order was pushed out through the distribution channels. There is a 30-day delay in these. And she said this will be in your reports by January 8th. Well, yesterday was January 11th. It wasn't in my reports. And so I got non-Christian. I used some colorful language, and I got a refund on the 2 orders that I had personally placed. So I got my money back, but I fear if anybody else bought this book, those aren't showing up, and Amazon is basically stealing from me, a starving indie author. And so that's kind of what she is saying here. But Judy continues on. Regardless, I'm doing what I can to keep an eye on sales and double checking things when there are sales I'm aware of. Unfortunately, there's really no way to check everything, and that's what puts us authors at a disadvantage. This guy has a related issue since transferring to Kindle from CreateSpace. I have 31 print titles on Kindle. The titles are substantial textbooks used in businesses at colleges and universities. I establish and manage large social networks. Total about 1.4 million members who I correspond with daily by email. I receive over 300 emails per day. I sell a large number of books through my own website, and it's evident that sales from Amazon and Amazon regional sites are not being disclosed, that I have feedback from people who've purchased the books, including a foreign university that I sit on the advisory board to, that I have not received royalties for. This is crazy stuff. I'm going to keep reading this comment because this is interesting, and I see some stuff down here that's getting fascinating. All right. Recently, I received emails asking me to resubmit files for 2 of my best-selling titles with the same settings and files. The only reason I can think of for doing this is that they have changed the terms. When I didn't do this, the titles were blocked, so they are in sort of a limbo where Kindle interface for those titles doesn't work. I've received notifications of sales of only one copy of each of these books over the last month, and Kindle have stopped shipping author copies to Australia. I know they're selling copies through Amazon Australia that I am not being notified about. Copies I've previously shipped are sold through my site or not being delivered in most cases. I have had similar ongoing experiences in many other parts of the world. I'm shipping sales from my own site, non-Amazon printers who charge me about 30% of Amazon's print fee. I do not believe that the Amazon sales figures are accurate. For 40 years, I've worked as a consultant product design manager, and over the time, there have been dozens of legal actions for IP infringements on more than 1,000 projects I've managed for corporations. One of those infringements netted the company I worked for about $800 million in damages. I'm not sure why Kindle are not declaring sales accurately. Perhaps they are not profitable. I hope that is not the case and they're just not just greedy. I cannot afford to spend 2 years writing books and receive royalties for only one copy through Amazon per month. Writers are their primary assets. So, of course, this is me. Let's see, more people comment. I don't know. I thought all the posts were just posted. Seems not to be so. These posts are making KDP quite nervous. Most reviewed posts are garbled by nanny software and this forums use. Even phrases like breathe hard. I don't know. All right. Let's see. What's this one? Anyone else missing royalties? No, there's a bug since July and early August that affected this. Maybe it's come back. So this is another one. Did I get to this one already? So you can see this is kind of a widespread issue. And this is why I'm encouraging all authors to, number one, collect some data about from your users about are people making, buying copies of the book. Keep an eye on your Nelson book ratings, and contact the Attorney General's office for your state level and the FTC. When enough of us contact the FTC will look into it. And about 15 years later, we'll all receive a $20 check for our sales not coming through. But, that's how it works in the corporatocracy of America. Here's another one, of course. This is nothing new. Of course, Reddit jumped in. We got to read the Reddit one. Reddit gets colorful. Let's see what Reddit says to say. This is posted 1 month ago, so December-ish. Okay, I try not to pay attention, but I do. For the last couple days, I haven't seen sales rankings matching up to sales. For example, one book I have has a lot of activity suddenly jumped massively without any difference in KU reads. However, several other books that should have seen jump due to sales didn't have any impact on the sales rankings. Usually they are expecting delays in reporting rankings. They have a little blurb at the top letting me know it isn't right now. The one thing I can think of as having changed is that the new KDP reports beta just came out, but I can't imagine how that would impact accurate sales ratings, or maybe something else related to the problem. People have had books with mysteriously being removed and then re-added several days later, and the longest shot I can think of is that someone did an Amazon giveaway using some of my books. Just some strange things I noticed lately and wondering if anyone else has been having it too. So this guy says Amazon is drunk right now. Their problems are across the board, and all the writer groups are complaining about it. All we have to do is wait. No, we don't want to wait. We want to take action, people. Don't sit back and, Amazon will fix it for me. Take action, people. Contact the FTC. Contact the Attorney General's office. When enough people fuss about this, then something is going to happen. The other action you can take is you can pull your stuff from Amazon and sell to Amazon through Ingram, because Ingram will give you accurate numbers. Now, there's a little caveat to that as I looked into that. Since my books are on Kindle, if I pull my books off of Kindle, I cannot publish from Ingram onto KDP for a year. So they were going to lock me out of ebook sales for a year if I decide to pull the hammer and do that. All right. What's the weirdest right now is when they're getting their act together. KDP reports beta is pretty cool. A whole lot of other stuff seems to be going down. I'm following a few other subreddits, but would recommend someone follow. Might discuss. Yeah, and actually, I like the KDP beta. It's not really rolled out yet, but I like it. Same things here. I've noticed sales showing up on the dashboard take around 24 hours or more to be reflected in the month to date tab. Sales rankings go up, sometimes significantly without corresponding to a sale of any page. Initial ranking positions for new releases is much lower than it used to be. Books are disappearing and reappearing, as well as specific markets having trouble accessing some books. Books falling off the cliff much faster than they did a few months ago, even with seemingly better sales. Categories slow to populate on a store page. Most recent book took 3 days to start showing category rankings. Amazon's a mess right now. Yeah. Haven't had it with KDP, but according to Author Central, I sold a whole lot more books than what is on my Lightning Source invoices. I basically begun to ignore Author Central because Lightning Source says a completely different number, and Lightning Source is the one that matters. All right. So that's Reddit. All right, so here is from just a couple days ago. Suspicions confirmed. No, they are not recording all your sales. I ordered a print copy at my retail at my last book because for the first one I got and returned was badly printed. This one was badly printed too. But I doubt that anyone but me would take notice. The PDF wasn't reproduced the right size, so instead of 12 points, it's more like 13 point. The margins instead of 0.5 inch are more like 0.25, but that's not the most interesting thing. The sale has not appeared on my month-to-date reports for January. I am going to wait a week before complaining about this, just so they can't say, oh, it's a little glitch, because reports delayed a few hours. FWIW, what's that one? Oh, for whatever it's worth. Okay. The first sale in October or November was never recorded either, although it hardly mattered since it was returned and therefore it would not have shown a refund. Yep. Now, if the book is ordered... Now, if a book is ordered, it should still show in your sales report. What happens is if a book is returned, then you just don't get the commission for it. I actually have seen that happen once. I did have that occur where somebody ordered the book, it appeared on the dashboard, I didn't see the royalty money for it. That's because it was returned, which they don't tell us returns, which they should. It was returned, and so I didn't get the royalty for it, but the sale was still reported. And that's kind of the key take home there. Goodness gracious, as Donald Rumford used to say, a sale for the book is now turned up in December reports. I'm pretty sure it wasn't there before, but I can't prove it now. So I no longer have much of an argument. Maybe the book was sold last month and returned. I don't know. I bought 2 of my print books at retail, received them at the beginning of this week. They haven't showed up on my reports yet. I ordered retail to get fast Prime shipping. On the last page, it said they were printed in August. Now, these particular books sell poorly in print, yet they sold in August back in CS days, and I got royalties for them. So I'm wondering if they were returned and then shipped out to me now. There's nothing wrong with them physically, but they aren't part of my main fantasy series, which sometimes seems all my fans think I'm allowed to write. It would make sense that Amazon didn't give us a royalty a second time if they did already give us royalty for that particular book, but it'd be nice if they told us so far. So far, query to KDP has gone unanswered. They removed our royalty on the return. They shouldn't bleep well give a royalty on the resale, or am I misreading this? Yeah, I mean, you should get the royalty for it. Okay, let's see. You can see this is a long-going thing. So one guy is having the nuclear action. This is as of 2 days ago. He says, give me transparency or give me a master unpublished button. I'm wondering if it isn't time to cut my losses and abandon this sinking ship. That made maybe sound like a bit of a rat, but why should anyone have to tolerate a culture of red tape and being forced to live in the dark? Since 2016, KDP had locked me out of my account for no good reason, forcing me to create a new account and reload my electronic titles, refused to respond to my numerous requests to remove duplicate titles stemming from the old account, thereby forcing me to list the same titles at reduced prices on my new account, baffled and aggravated me both via email and telephone with their troubleshooters, read trouble exasperators, who could barely speak a word of English, let alone understand and respond to my complaints. 4, move my titles from CreateSpace to their own dubious domain without as much as asking please. And 5, failed to report my known sales, including titles purchased personally, accurately, so that the so-called dashboard in the period being forcefully switched over. I must also note that in stark contrast to the CreateSpace experience, KDP users remain in constant ignorance of their bottom line, i.e. to the best of my knowledge at least, there's no button or link one can click to give the given dollar amount that one is owed at any given time. This is something that must certainly be addressed with KDP or to appease those who are dragged on board. Sure, and what is Ingram Spark out there? Amazon uses them for their expanded distribution. I see no reason to go anywhere else. Making $3 plus on sale expanded. Let's see. Today I'm thinking we're running and fumbling all around like their hens with their heads cut off because Amazon's publishing wing had been running and fumbling around with their heads hacked off. Yep. So that's kind of what's at case. So what happened with me recently? Well, I had wanted to do a giveaway. You used to be able to go into Goodreads, by the way, which is an Amazon social media company. And you used to be able to go in there and sponsor a giveaway. Well, they changed their platform, and now it costs me $100 to do a giveaway to pay for and pay shipping for all of my own books. And that, to me, seems like a ripoff. If I'm going to do a giveaway, maybe I'll just do a giveaway on my own site and media instead. All right, so what I did is Amazon has the ability to go in and sponsor a giveaway. So if you were to go over to Amazon, let's go ahead and jump on back to the screen there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you go to Amazon and look up this book, Testing and Temptations. See, this is funny. Did not match any products. Literally, I spelled it wrong. Okay, maybe that's me. Let me just type that last word again. Okay, so there with the exact title, this crap shows up, this crap shows up. The old unpublished book that doesn't exist anymore shows up, and then this one shows up. All right, so you can actually go to any page, and you can come on down, and you can do a giveaway. So if you set up a giveaway, what happens is you buy this at retail, and then people to give away. So I hosted one of these, and 2 copies were given away, which means that I paid full retail plus shipping for 2 copies of my own book, and those did not show up in my dashboard. So I called them. So after several weeks of not seeing them show up, I sent them out, and I got a chain of incompetent email responses written by third world countries. It didn't make any sense, weren't accurate, and some were like, well, this is expanded distribution. It's like, no, it's not. Expanded distribution is not handled on Amazon. So I went ahead and logged back into KDP to see if they had changed it when they moved it from CreateSpace to KDP. Lo and behold, they did not. So I was correct. There's no expanded distribution. So what would have supposed to have happened is as soon as the book shipped out, which would have been December 3rd and December 7th, when the 2 books shipped out, within a day, I should have seen the sales reported. So I tried calling them, and I get a bunch of people who can't speak any English whatsoever, and then just jumping back around. So I finally try email. So I finally get a hold of somebody, and I somehow get connected to the United States support line. And so I get connected to the United States support line, and with that, she says, oh, these were printed on the outsourced facility, so they will show up, and they'll just be 30 days late. So I confirmed, okay, so then by by January 8th, these should absolutely show up. She says, absolutely, these will be in your account by then. So I waited until yesterday, which was the 11th, still not showing up. And so I spent an hour on the phone going back and forth with a bunch of third world people who can't speak any English at all. And I simply could not understand anything these people were saying. I asked them to transfer me over. I finally call customer service. I get somebody in English on Amazon's customer service, which is different from KDP's customer service. I said, hey, can you get somebody from United States, high level, here on the phone with us? She's like, yeah, sure, let's do that. So what do I get? I get Charlie Chong from over in wherever that can't speak any English, who's not a manager and not United States and KDP. So I said, you know what? Never mind. I hung up the phone. I called back Amazon customer service, and I actually swore at them until I got my refunds back. That's what I had to do, Amazon. So no, I'm not happy with you right now. And that's the fact of the matter is I am not alone. I am not the only indie author going through this, and all of us need to get together, contact our local governing authorities, like contact your Attorney General's office, and contact the FTC. And then when the wall funding is passed and this FTC opens back up, maybe they'll get 15,000 cases about Amazon screwing over indie authors, and then maybe something will actually start to happen. That's kind of the case. Now, what else can we do? Well, if you are getting into the field of publishing now, you might just say, I don't want to mess with all this. Just do everything straight through Ingram from the get-go. The downside is, now that I already have things on KDP, I cannot push ebooks back onto Kindle for 1 year. I would have to pull my books off of Kindle and wait an entire year to sell my books on Amazon. How's that for a monopoly? All right, I can sell my ebooks anywhere else. Or I can just keep on going and see if it works. I would like the Amazon thing to work because I am less than 2 weeks from getting another book out to print. And oh boy, it's going to be my best book I've ever done. I would actually like to see this number of the copies I sell actually sell. I don't know. I don't know. And it's a hard decision for me right now. Do I go ahead? Maybe I'll just do the ebook on Amazon Kindle and do all the print stuff through Ingram. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of the case. So what do you guys think about all this? Are you an indie author that have experienced this? What steps have you taken? Again, if you've purchased any of these books, like this one, I'm getting sales numbers are showing up just fine. It's this one. If you have purchased a copy of this book from Amazon properties, absolutely let me know. I'm going to need that information should I need to. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let's see. Lots of stuff. All right. Prepper Rick knows nothing about Linux. All right. Just got a program idea, whatever, made it easier to install scripts. Oh yeah, there you go. That'd be a really cool program, Pizza. You should do that. Okay. Channel has a lot of good tutorials. So does Joe Collins. Yep. And today's not really about Linux, but you know. All right, just got notified for the stream, even though I've been on it for 6 minutes. Woohoo! I got notified for the stream through Discord bot in my server. There you go. All right. Hey, at least Discord bot's keeping up with me. I don't know. Hey there. I was here a while ago, but not in the mood to match your speedy youngster's fingers. Greetings. Use your feet then. All right. Install your live streams. Bummer. So Amazon banks the money for 60 days and gets interest on money in the interim. Yes, but that's common in the industry. I don't care about that as much. I'm not getting a tizzy over that. As long as I get paid for it, hey, I can plan 60 days in advance. I don't care. But as long as I get paid for it. I also thought Chile, our publishers were slave traders. It seems stepped back in time. Yep. Pizza's gonna be live at 11, which is when is that Eastern? 11, 12, 1, 2. That's 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock Eastern. Oh, thanks, Pizza. You told me. 2 comments down. Duh. All right. Using Kali on USB and let up the hard drive. Thank you for that super chat. I will get down to respond to you properly in a moment when I get there. Amazon. All right, let's see. Jeff Hope, thank you. Hi, Tom. I just ordered the printed version of Testing on Temptations. Let's see if it shows up. Amazon says it'll be here between the 18th and the 23rd. Let me go ahead and see. What it might do is it might show up instantly on Nielsen, which is usually what it does. Actually, I think that's 1 hour delay. Oh. Usually it's like a one or 2 hour delay on Nielsen. Okay. I'm still only ranked as 200,000 in author ranks, which for Amazon is actually remarkably good. It looks like I sold an Audible book recently. That's the Kindle book. Okay, that's the paperback. Yeah, I'm not seeing it on the Nielsen yet. I will let you know, Jeff. Thank you for that as well, and I will absolutely let you know. And definitely let me know of the print quality. So let me grab a KDP one. Hold on. All right. So as far as them goes, this is printed through CreateSpace. This is printed through Ingram. So the Ingram one has, the cover is printed a lot nicer. Interior, this is what the interior should look like. And so the interior is, it's good on both. CreateSpace does a better job at these, the chapter callouts. They're a little bit darker. They're good on Ingram. It's just they're a little bit lighter. Probably this one's probably easier to read, actually, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's kind of that. And I will let you know what that looks like. And let me know of the print quality. If the print quality is bad, Jeff, let me know. I'll send you one from Lightning. All right. And thank you again for the super chat. Kobo or Kindle? All right. So the books are available both places. Kobo is done through Lightning Source, I believe. So MUROSKY. Whoop, wrong button. I wanted to go to this one here. All right, so Kobo, we have... Oh, wow, my audiobook is already on Kobo. Woohoo, cool. Audiobook for Testing and Temptations is already on Kobo. So you can get the... Yeah, you can get the... this one here. If you were to buy this is the ebook copy. So Kobo does audiobooks is brand new. They just started doing audiobooks and then ebooks. Or I don't know if audiobooks were brand new. My audiobook distributor just got onto Kobo. So now I have links to Kobo. That's cool. This is the first one of these I've seen in the wild. Woohoo! I just submitted that a couple days ago. So this one here, if you place an order through this, I will end up getting, I think I'll get 50% of this. So I'll get like $1.50 in about 90 days, which is okay. I don't mind that at all. That's the way this world works. That's perfectly okay. So there is Kobo. If you were to do it on Amazon, if you were to order on Amazon and on Kindle, I will get, what's the number? What's the amount I get paid on Kindle for that? Okay, let me split this by title. That's not an accurate sales reporting. Hey, the one book I sold on Kindle of Testing and Temptations, I netted 35 cents. Amazon stole 65 cents and I got 35 cents. Yay, isn't that exciting? Thank you, Amazon. I should get about between $1 and $1.50. I forget on that book how much I'll get for that. So I will tell you, if you use Kobo, I'd use Kobo. I wouldn't give any more money into the money-hungry thing that is Amazon at this point. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Kobo has an app or anything, or if does anybody use Kobo? Do you just get a copy of this to sideload, or how does Kobo work? I don't even know. Using Calibri for ebook management, I would suggest Kobo. I just bought a Kobo Clara HD. Yeah, on my Testing and Temptations on Amazon is DRM free where available. Amazon, not all territories are allowed to do DRM free, and so it's DRM free where available, but not there. If you don't mind using a plugin to get rid of DRM on Amazon, you can go with that. Yeah, and again, not all books. So if you were to buy Testing and Temptations Kindle on Amazon, it is not locked with DRM. I think India locks all ebooks with DRM. I forget which ones do. Most places, like you can pull my books off of your Kindle account without that, and if you are having an issue and you provide me with a proof of purchase, I will verify and I will send you a copy of it if you want it. If you do like doing just downloadable, just manage everything through Calibri, go through PayHip. PayHip actually gets me Outside of ordering it directly on my website, PayHip actually gives me the highest royalties for the ebooks. So you can find the PayHip links if you head to my website at Our Walk in Christ, click on the support tab, click on PayHip, and this is where you can actually come in and you can grab the ebooks here. So if you buy the ebooks here, I actually get 90% of the fee. This is outside of buying it directly from my own website, which is here. Which I actually get, you know, I get 97%, whatever PayPal's take is minus that. PayHip takes PayPal's plus a little extra. So I get most ordering it directly from me with ebooks, second most on PayHip, and then third most, it doesn't matter. It's wherever it goes. All right, let's see. Side note, if you're going to buy books on Amazon, use the DRM free plugin. Okay. Might trust Prime Minister more than I trust Amazon. That's hard to say out loud after 4.5 billion imaginary pipeline. Yep. I'm an American from Ohio. All right. But I'm just a lake away from Canada. Yep. You must be in Northern Ohio. Sandusky. Okay. Now also we can get a DUI charge for drinking in your own home up to 2 hours after driving home sober. Wow, if that doesn't sound like 1984. Little rant last few days, pardon me. I don't like bringing politics, but yeah, hey, that would be funny if it wasn't so frightening. Rip, my video got copyright claimed. Which video got copyright claimed? Distributions of the world. What got copyright claimed? Okay. It was a fair use because of the memes. I guess I'll delete it. Great about reading chats. Always generally skip it. Yeah, so it also depends too. Like I was recording this so I can have a edited version out without all the chats in it. So I'll have an edited version of this one up too. See you, Louie. Pizza's going to get food. Tom Swear, yeah. Why don't you sell on eBay? Never really considered it. Maybe I'll have to look into selling on eBay. Do people buy books on eBay? I don't know. Should I look into selling books on eBay? I lost on eBay. Let's see. Let's see if anyone's selling my books on eBay. Huh. Wow. Man, I should sell on eBay. I can underwrite these prices. $17.25 for a book that retails at $12.95. That's a steal. There's the old one. Brand new, free shipping. Who's selling this? Zubar. Oh, you know what these are? These are like book distributors who will put their inventory on as well. So like Zubar would be a store like this. I don't know. Should I do that, guys? Should I put my books on eBay? I didn't even really stop and consider that. Probably could. I don't know. What do you guys think? I can certainly undercut these prices. I will promise you that. Anarita, greetings. Tom, is your new book going to be available on Indigo? Kobo, yes. The new book that's not yet out will be on, I think, Indigo also. That's not the one. Kobo, yes. My books always get there. Is that chapters.indigo.ka? All right, so yes. So over here, I don't seem to have the image available for this one. So here is Testing and Temptations. This is the paperback ebooks. Okay, yeah. So this is the ebook over here. So we have the ebook here, and this actually feeds through Kobo. So yeah, you can buy them over there. And yes, the new book will be pushed out everywhere right now. The question is, am I going to push print books through KDP, or am I going to push the print books through Ingram? That's the thing I need to figure out. Jokes aside, don't you think Amazon will start begging for their partners' money, even smaller ones with shady offers? Oh, they're already doing that. What kind of books do I write? Primarily, I am a Christian author. The next book, after I get the 2 books that are in process right now done, the 5th book I do is going to actually be a secular book on minimalism and simple living. Okay. Whoa, thank you again, Jeff Hope, for that super chat. Okay. Going to burn some fat. At least it's healthier than doing business with Amazon. There you go. Thanks, Jeff. Yep. Snap just woke up. Oh, Snap, you're late. All right. Yes, your book will avail on Kobo. Yes, it will. Yeah, Kobo is they're a book, ebook and audiobook distributor. They have an app for everything, and the Kobo e-readers have built-in stores as well. Oh, cool. See you, Quint. Kobo works, creating an account with Kobo, then sign in, select and buy, and select a credit card or gift card on your e-reader, then connect it to the Wi-Fi or connect it to the Wi-Fi. And then you click sign, your book will show up. Oh, east of Sandusky. Okay. DUI, driving under the influence. So when you're not driving under the influence, you can get a DUI. That's ridiculous. Using the Parrot OS live persistence more than Linux Lite on my hard drive. Should I install it? As long as you don't have any reason to not install it, just make sure you save a copy of your home folder, all your files, and yeah, if you're using Parrot more, then use whatever you're using more, install it on your hard drive, sure. Name of the new book. Oh, do I want to talk about my new book yet? All right, guys, it's up to you. Do I talk any about the new book or not? Let me know. Saddle Ridge. Should I talk about the new book at all? You already have PayPal, Tom. It's a piece of cake. Yep. Pizza says put books on eBay. SwitchedtoLinux says put books on eBay. Give eBay a try. I'm using more to avoid Amazon. Okay. Don't use PayPal as a seller. Lost about 15,000 reversals. They do not stand for sellers when it's digital content. Yeah. And Snap is a banana. All right. Let me grab my assets. This might be the first time I talk about the new book if I do this. I just need to grab the assets from the other computer. Are the assets? Yeah, the assets should be on this computer. Where are you? Where are you, Mr. Assets? No, not that assets. Talk about it. New book. Did I study computer science? No, I did not. I was a chemistry and biochemist. Okay, so the new book is about media evaluation. This is a book, the principle and process goes back a long time, and I actually did a blog post on this general topic probably a decade ago. And let's see if I can remember the name of the title. All right. So the article I originally wrote was November 2nd, 2017, and it is called Trained to Kill. And so what I did is, this is after doing a lot of a lot of research, and coming from a background, I was a complete atheist. I came from a background of heavy metal and media addiction and lots of other issues. And when I came to Christ, I looked down and I had all this stuff that wasn't necessarily glorifying to God. And some of it's like, yeah, probably throw it out. Some of it, like, why bother throwing it out? And what I found is that some people were either way too radical, throw away everything that doesn't say God, or way too much the other side and saying, hey, everything goes. And neither one of those really takes a good point. And so this article is kind of mostly based and inspired on a sermon series by Chip Ingram, which right when the Columbine shootings had occurred, Chip Ingram stopped their plan. He was in Santa Cruz at the time. He stopped his regularly scheduled sermon, and he started a series on parenting called Parenting in Perilous Times. And the first sermon in that series is called The Evidence of Perilous Times. I'm not sure if you can still find it or not. But that sermon was all about this issue. Now, he took it a little bit too far in one direction and had a few facts wrong. But to be fair to him, this was the Sunday after Columbine. So a lot of people had some facts wrong. Well, he ended up doing that. And then around the same time, Stuart McAllister from Ravi Zacharias International Ministries comes down, and what he did is he said, he did a sermon called Media Friend or Foe, which you should probably still find as a free download on RZIM because their sermons have always been free downloads. Well, that sermon was so good because it provided that balance, and like Ravi Zacharias' ministry always does, it challenged the culture without being too much of a separatist, but not casually adopting it either. And so there was that. And then Eric Holmberg at Reel to Reel Ministries did 2 docuseries. One of those was Hell's Bells. Now, he did 2 editions. Hell's Bells Part 1 is crap. It was garbage. A lot of logical fallacies, a lot of slippery slopes. But then he came back and revised the series with Hell's Bells 2, The Dangers of Rock and Roll. I think it was called Hell's Bells 2. Hell's Bells 2 is a 6.5-hour documentary of how media and Christianity have intersected. And it is absolutely fascinating. Definitely worth the watch. But he also did one called Pandora's Box Office, which is, I think that's 2.5 hours, or maybe it's 3.5 hours on movies and Christian intersection, which were also fascinating. So those 3 things together always got me thinking about how media impacts us, coming from a background where media did impact me. And this is a true story, and I tell in the book. We come from, where our family backgrounds come from impacts how we are. In psychology, it's called the family of origin. And your family of origin, you don't actually understand who you are and where you're coming from. And you don't know that what you do as dysfunctional is not actually normal. And so I was raised without any parental oversight in what we watched. I did not watch all the Disney movies when I was in elementary school. I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and all sorts of things. Well, in 5th grade, we had an assignment. Mrs. Selenica was my teacher. And we had an assignment. It was a creative writing assignment. Give 10 reasons why your parents did not sign your homework. You know, we had a policy. You had to bring your homework home. Your parents sign it, bring it back. So 10 reasons why your parents didn't sign your homework. I wrote Freddy Krueger killed my mom. Jason Voorhees came back and cut her up with an axe. My mom jumped off a cliff and died. Literally everything I wrote was like, dude, if I were a child in schools now, I would have been sent right to the therapist's office. And like, there would have been like family services involved. It was crazy. I did not realize that was an inappropriate thing to do. That's how media impacts us. And then of course we get the impact, how do video games impact us? And of course, this was actually kind of a big thing this summer, is there was some discussion back and forth. And then, you know, you guys don't realize this, but video game research studies have been going on since the 70s. And it's not like, you know, you'll get guys like DeFranco come up like, you know, the latest studies show, and then be like, completely deny all this impact. The fact of the matter is, science doesn't prove anything. Science can demonstrate things under certain conditions. And some of the old research studies are just as good and just as valid as the new ones. All video games, it doesn't matter what the content is, increases aggressive behaviors. Did you guys know that? It doesn't matter what the content is. It can be Tetris, it can be Black Ops. It doesn't matter. There are some elements that make certain games bad or not as bad. There are some obsessions you can get with games that are bad or not as bad. This book is about intersecting all of these concepts. It took me over 4 years to write and research and was based on conversations I've had with who you guys know as Lipster, as he grew up from being a 12-year-old on up into he is over 18 now, and we have had 4 years of conversations to interact and process all of this information. All of this is a book about evaluating media entertainment. And the book is called I Am Not Amused. And I will show you guys the book cover here in a second. So here is the book cover for I Am... No, stop it. Stop doing that. It's cycling through my stuff. Hold on. Stupid thing is trying to cycle through my pictures. Don't do that. Go to the book cover I told you to go to. Now it's not finding the book cover I told it to go to. All right. I'm going to put it in its own folder. Stop cycling. Oh, what? Now you don't want to go full screen and get rid of all the background stuff because I put you in a folder all by yourself? All right, fine. All right, so here is the book cover. And what the concept is, if you understand Exodus and how Moses was called out of the desert, you know that he had a conversation with this bush. And this bush tells him to go out, and it tells him to go back to his people and say to Pharaoh, let my people go. And Moses is engaging in this conversation with the burning bush, which is God. And God finally comes down, and Moses is trying to make every form of excuse. And he says, well, the people will ask, who told me to say this? Who shall I say sent you? And the answer, translated into English, is I am. Tell them I am has sent you. So that's why it is actually I am, not amused. But the colon just doesn't look good. And so it is I am not amused. And that is why I want your I to go up to I am. It is a declaration of God is not amused with our modern entertainment. So this is the book cover design, and this was all done on GIMP, and it is using Alpha Echo as one of the open source fonts, and is it Stencil, Stenish Stencil or something? I forget. It's actually in the front cover of the book. I list the fonts because I list those. So this was created entirely on GIMP, and this is actually a photograph that is processed out to be a sketch. And we intentionally made it with this design that is just like, wow. And I am very excited about the release of this book. And I am actually today, when we're done with the live stream, I should be doing all of the final interior cover design. I'm working on the pullouts right now. And then I'm going to lay down the audio track as the final edit and then push it out to the publishers. So that's kind of what the process is going to look like. So that is the book cover, and I'll let you guys know as soon as it gets out. I'm not sure exactly when that is going to be, but it will be pretty soon. All right. All right, for anyone who cares, Walmart in the U.S. is now selling Kobo books in store. Yes. I think Kobo is a Walmart company, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Used to be a biology professor, liked tech for a while. Yep. Yeah, my actual degrees are in integrative biological sciences and molecular toxicology. I was a chemistry professor for a number of years before going into full-time freelance tech. Even counter-selling fees, which will be low, and you come out much better selling them yourself. People do buy books on eBay, plus you're in control of shipping, and you can set a buy now and price it. Wife just got me a $100 gift card for Christmas for Kobu, so I need some books. Okay, what made you want to switch to Linux? Windows privacy issues. I was actually perfectly content, and I think the Windows operating system generally works just fine. But I will absolutely not have crap installed on my system that I don't want installed on my system. That was probably the first thing. That was kind of the first thing for me, but ultimately the straw that broke the camel's back for me was the privacy and data collection in Windows 10. It's like, no, I do not consent to you sending my data. So I actually have a video which details every bit of it. It's one of the first videos I did on my channel. I'm looking for it now. I'll drop it in the thing for you. Where are you? Here you are. Copy link. So inputting right now. That is the why I switched to Linux. That is actually my first ever tinfoil hat time as well. Which I need to do a tinfoil hat time soon. Think parents especially will like my new book. The one parent that has beta read it that I know of really liked it as well. So, yep. How is heavy metal an issue? That is an interesting issue. The fact is, part of it can be, but not necessarily. There's some interesting interplay. There's some interesting interplay. Which I don't want to get into right here. Maybe I'll get into that more on the other channel. I don't want anyone to hate me, but I don't believe in God. That's okay. Pandora's box office is a beautiful pun. Yes, it is an absolutely awesome thing. Everyone makes a choice about that. It's your choice to determine. Yep. As a gamer, I completely disagree. Well, I mean, there's a lot of research about it. In fact, another fascinating story. This one's actually not in the book, or maybe it is. I don't remember if it's in the book or not. But when I was doing a lot of children's ministry years ago, I had some friends that they kind of lived this kind of fairly non-traditional life. They didn't really have a TV. They didn't have any video games or things. They knew their kids. They did a bunch of board games and things. They got an Xbox in the house and played exclusively family-friendly games. Within 2 weeks, I noticed aggression building up in all their kids. And I talked to the parents about it. I said, hey, you know, just in the last couple weeks, I've seen a lot of aggression. And they literally brushed me off until the very next day their teacher told them the same thing. The one and only thing they changed, they put an Xbox in their house. And they weren't playing violent games. They were just playing games. Because what happens biologically when you're playing a game is it's a constant stimulus and expression of adrenaline in low doses. And adrenaline causes an aggressive type of jittery behavior. And it's a ton of research on that. So, I was a violent movie / video game kid, heavy metal, cussing and stage 8, played girls. I was 12 and I was still nearly straight. Well, how well you do on your grades isn't an implication. What I'm talking about is the mindset of who you are, which is just fine. You know, it's okay. You seem hyper today. Coffee. Play Counter-Strike, but I'm not an idiot, and I don't say terrorists kill my mom in a school assignment. I didn't even pretend to shoot guns in school. Hey, you know, I mean, you're also though 3 years older than I was at that time. I didn't know the difference. I mean, I don't know. Am I a distro hopper? All right. So my production computers never hop. I use highly stable distros. I primarily use Linux Mint on all my production computers. So this computer here that I'm doing this on, this is Linux Mint, and my mobile laptop where I you know, if I'm going to be out of the office doing work on the field, whatever else, that's Linux Mint. The computer that I do my writing on is actually Peppermint, just because it's just as stable, but it's not as resource heavy as Cinnamon is. So I use those for my main production. My media PC, which is next to me here, this distro hops at least once a month because I like making sure I'm always up to date on the latest distros. I like testing the new things and reporting on what's stable and what's not. The fact that I have a number of computers and I work at as an in-home tech consultant, allows me to do that. So yes and no, not for production, but for my side book, yes, absolutely. Book cover's awesome. Thank you very much. Put away your strange and foreign gods. Yep. You kind of lost me at all video games causing increased aggression. I play video games a lot, and when you ask, I am the least... Oh, but there is... Okay, you made a logical... a very common error. Aggression is not the same as violence. Aggression and violence are not the same thing. Aggression has a biological response. Aggression is a sort of a feeling. Violence is an acting out, and violence isn't necessarily aggression. There is a radical difference between violence and aggression. I actually clarify that point very nicely in the book as I actually read through and analyze that research article. So yeah, no, I'm not saying you're violent if you play video games. What I'm saying is that playing video games steadily releases adrenaline into your body, and adrenaline is the fight or flight response. It causes you biologically to have more aggression. It causes a different stimulus response, but it's not all together. But I mean, you'll have to read through the article, to the research article about it to see what you think. I made a photo of a Linux version of Photoshop. I would still use GIMP, but I am in search of a way to run my Cry engine on Linux. What are you trying to run? Because there's actually, there's Krita is also an alternative to Photoshop as well. When is it coming out? I do not know yet. It will be a soft rollout. So like today is the first time I actually saw Testing and Temptations as an audiobook out in the field. That's brand new to me. I actually just submitted those for distribution a couple of days ago. So yeah, when is it coming out? Anna Rita, I will announce on the stream when I push it to distribution. If I still have your email, I'll send you an email when it's pushed out. And then it's any time, from 5 days to 3 weeks after that is when it will show up in different resources. You ever tried any other self-publishing sites? Draft to Digital, Smashwords, Lulu, and Blurb? No. Generally, like a lot of the other ones, they don't have either the distribution capability or their fees are much higher. There's a lot of reasons why they're only used for a certain number of things, not for full-scale distribution. Was the first Linux distro I ever installed? Ubuntu 11.04, I think. SwitchedtoLinux, I sent you an article for Tinfoil Hat Time. Sweet, thank you. I've not booted up Skype, so if it's there, I'll get it when I boot up Skype. I'll try and remember to boot that up today, but I'm not sure. Right, have I heard Tosca into Windows 10 to test himself? Yes. We will all need to send him some Valium. All right. I had a cousin where the same thing happened. The kid constantly got protected by his parents. He got really violent. When he could finally game. Yeah. And kids get aggressive while they play video games due to competition. That is possibly part of the response. People constantly playing them. Nothing really happens. On the long term, only kids who want to act it out. Correct. You have to have the intersection of... like kind of a pure hatred, a pure aggression. There's a lot of factors that go into why violence breaks out. Playing video games does not necessarily cause violence to break out. Every Sunday after church, I come home and I play Black Ops with a friend. I don't have any desire to go out and shoot people. And hey, I carry a gun in public. I mean... 2 years older, and believe me, most of my friends don't give a crap about school and would do the same thing you did. I'd recommend beginners use Deepin. I have a lot of serious concerns with Deepin. That's why I don't use it. I think it's one of the most polished systems. But there's some things I don't like about it. But yeah, it's a good distro. I actually ran Deepin, was it 2 months ago? I think I ran Deepin for a month. And then I ran Manjaro Deepin. That other religions came up with what I believe in. I know there has to be some form of creator, but I don't believe that it was one person, God. All right. So I had a good dad to belt my butt so I could be a BA. We'll call that a BA as long as I still had respect and shovel the driveway. Yep, there you go. And that's the thing. Kids who grew up with a good role model do better than kids who don't. Hands down. You want the best way for your parent not to become a psychopathic shooter? Or excuse me, you want the best way for a kid not to become a psychopathic shooter? You be their parent. You love them, you set boundaries, but they know they're cared for, and you spend time with them and you do fun things with them. That's what it takes. I have to ask this, and no offense to you or anyone, you say you're religious, but you own a gun and are willing to shoot someone. Isn't that wrong? No, not at all. Self-defense is certainly allowable by Scripture, and it is a duty that a Christian must take on in the public. Okay, if a person wanted to come down, like if a person is going to break the law and want to shoot at me, I'm going to fire some shots back. Yeah, I am. No, there's nothing wrong. And the fallacy is that some translations will say the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not kill. No, it does not say that. It says thou shalt not commit murder. Murder is a specific act of an unprovoked taking of somebody's life. Killing is allowable in Scripture as corporal punishment, like it is allowed in the Bible. It is allowable for self-defense. It is allowable by the state to execute judgment. So it says the power of the sword has been given to the state. It is allowable in self-defense. In fact, if you read through the when Jesus sends out the disciples, now this gets convoluted because there's two separate instances. In one instance, he sends out his people and he says, don't take with you a sword, don't take with you extra clothes, don't take with you anything. And people are like, oh, take this verse out of context. That was a training mission, people. He says, now that I'm leaving, now you are to be prepared. And he even says, if you do not have a sword, sell your extra cloak and get one. Of course, they come in and say, oh, we have a sword. He says it is enough. All right, the point is, Jesus says, be prepared. Be prepared for life. I have the full legal right, as the law provides in my country and in my state, to carry a firearm, to protect myself, to protect my property, and to protect innocent civilians around me. And it is a Christian duty. So no offense at all. And that's good. Owning a gun and shooting someone, sort of not related. Let's see. You like KDE and XFCE? XFCE I'm okay on. Of course, that's what I use in Peppermint. I like it. It's nothing to write home about for me, but I like it. KDE I really like. There's some issues with it. It's not my favorite, but it's up there. 804 might have been Kubuntu. Can't remember. My wife and I noticed a difference when we got rid of cable, and now we have Netflix and watch 10 TV shows, and now we have time to read and play board games and have conversations. Yep. We have guns in the UK here. Yeah. Oh, I understand. I absolutely understand. Yeah. You play Black Ops? Yes, I do. I'm your role model. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yesterday I was in the library and someone I've never seen before asked if I had a YouTube channel. I said yes, and he begged me sub for sub. Oh, God. Sob because YouTube blocks in the world chat. Hey, man, if you need to sub for sub, that is a sobby story, man. I only had 8 subscribers, but his streams are going to have at least 100 views, and that he would give me a shout out. Yeah. Video games don't make you violent. It's about having good parents. Correct. Video games do not make you violent. Video games make you aggressive, and there's a difference. Absolutely. I live in a country where only criminals are allowed to carry guns. Yep. My favorite indie company. What's up, kitty? Yeah, you're cute. All right. My favorite indie company. I don't know which indie company. I Like, I see that Christians like peaceful and Muslims like the ones who fight. No offense. Well, Christians are peaceful. Yeah, because I carry a gun, because I have a gun, because I'm willing to protect the public. Here's the thing. If I'm downtown in the grocery store and some psychopathic person comes in with some rifle, starts blowing people away, guess what? It's a very good Christian duty to kill the violent guy. All right? That's the thing. That doesn't mean the fact you own a gun and are willing to use it for self-defense does not mean you're not about peace. The difference is that a Christian living as Jesus lives, I have to make that distinction because not all Christians are peaceful. Westboro Baptist morons, I'm thinking of you, who are not saved, by the way. Those people are very hateful, and that's not what we're called to be. We are called to be peacemakers, to live at peace with all men, as much as it depends on you. That is what the scripture verse says. And with that being said, we don't have, like, in Islam, in some groups of Islam, you can't say because, you know, just like there's Christians who follow, Christians don't follow it. There's branches of Islam that force allegiance to their faith or they will kill you. That is not right. There is zero of that. The Crusades were 100% invented by man. Had nothing to do with God, Christianity, Jesus, or anything. That is not Christianity. Christianity itself is about peace. But peace sometimes requires a sword to keep order. And that's the thing we're talking about. Yeah, but they're not all offensive. No, absolutely not. Guns can keep you safe from things other than people. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, bears. I mean, yeah. Think about Black Ops 4. I'm so old school, I play, which one? I do Black Ops 1. I haven't played Black Ops 4. I am not a big gamer. Like, hey, as long as the Xbox runs and has no internet connection and I can play Black Ops with my friend on Sunday afternoon for an hour, I'm happy. I don't care. So a country where if you are attacked by a guy with a gun and he gets shot down by his own gun he tried to shoot you with, you will go to jail. Yep. Pale Moon is working. Very good. Westboro Baptist Church. They're the guys that have the big signs. I'm not sure if they still have it, but their website used to be godhatesfags.com. They are anti-gay people, and that's not the Christian message either. They petition, like they picket military funerals. They're just a bunch of bullies. They are not Christianity, but they claim to be speaking for God, but they're not. Government wants to put me in jail for owning a share in cannabis company, so I'm out. Should get Counter-Strike. You can run on anything. That's free now. Westboro are extremists. Yes. They are extremist, militant. I wouldn't necessarily say maybe they're militant. I don't know. But they are an extremist, right-wing, conservative, quasi-Christian group. They claim to be Christians, but they are not. There is a Linux distro that is Windows friendly for anyone that knows the name. Well, there's a number of them. I use Linux Mint Cinnamon, and the reason I do is because my layout is exactly like a Windows layout. It is exactly what I want, and this is the layout that I am absolutely the most efficient in. So this is the one I use. On top of that, it is rock hard stable. It will work on the widest variety of hardware I know of. Not that it's perfect in every setting, but Linux Mint Cinnamon is absolutely my go-to choice. Not breaches. Islam says to kill apostates. Anyone born to a Muslim father is considered a Muslim, so most will kill you even if you never really look up their religion. It depends. We're not going to get into a big debate about Islam here because there's a lot of things about it on either direction. All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So once again, you can support me on Amazon if you want, but if you want to buy my books, buying them from me or anywhere else might be better at this point in time. Let me see if a book sale jumped up a Nielsen scan, Jeff, if you're still on. Yeah, I'm not seeing it in Nielsen, and let's go back to main reports page. Yep, not seeing it anywhere. I will let you know, though, Jeff, what happens with that. If it shows up, I'll let you know. And thanks for watching, guys. I will try and do a... I'll have the edited version of this up. It might be later on today. I have like 4 or 5 other things I need to do before I get too far in the rest of the world. Pizza, I think, is streaming now. Pizza, are you streaming now? Give us a link, Pizza. I think Pizza's going on here shortly. And you can jump on over to his stream. And does an eBay wish list hide your address like an Amazon wish list? I don't know. Does anybody use eBay wish lists? All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and jump off for now. So thanks for coming along. Check out Pizza Loving Nerds stream. He should be coming on here in a few minutes. And yeah, I'll let you know what goes on with this Amazon situation. And apparently my phone is ringing. So I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.